Okay, welcome to Uncensored Conservatism. This is episode number 304, continuing to look back on the past week of the Trump administration, our 47th president. So, this is like day number 166 of the Trump administration, which is only about 11% of his presidency. So, it seems like 90%. So, looking back on the past week, of course, we celebrated our 249th birthday, also known as Independence Day, also known as the real No Kings Day, without pink hair freaks marching and protesting. And because we are now in July, as a nation, we survived another Gay Pride Month, still an overwhelmingly heterosexual country, which, by the way, Gay Pride simply celebrates liberal lesbians and gays that no self-respecting male would touch with a 10-foot pole. So, yeah, July 4th, the celebration of breaking away from the British monarchy and using guns and, things that exploded. Yeah, cool things. Something my leftist friends just can't seem to understand and get through their thick skulls. Speaking of which, uh, this young conservative lady gets it. She's good looking. She's not fat. There's no visible tattoos, no nose ring, and she's armed. And the bathing suit kind of gives it away that she's a conservative. And I would say these three young ladies are also conservative, packing guns. Okay, one more, and that's your Second Amendment news for the week. Conservatives keeping America safe, one hot chick at a time. So you can imagine if we had crazy liberal district court judges back during the Revolutionary War. Poor George Washington, there would have been an injunction at every turn. Now, this little meme kind of pisses me off because in the National Hockey League, when teams play, it is not the United States versus Canada unless it's like the Olympics or something like that. But people try to make it that. Like, half of any roster is Canadian players. Let's just thank Canada for giving us ice hockey, and let's not place a tariff on ice hockey. Joe Biden gave his birthday wishes to the country on July 4th from the beach in Delaware, and he watched fireworks after a large turkey dinner with dressing and, everything else that goes along with it, and watching the Dallas Cowboys play. The other news is that ICE opened up a detention facility in the swamps of Florida, and they're calling it the Alligator Alcatraz, and it's making for some great memes while exploding the heads of a lot of liberals. Governor DeSantis even gave Trump a tour of the new facilities. This is a brilliant idea. Maybe some alligators in the Rio Grande would stop some would-be border jumpers. Nah. Some judge would issue an injunction and say it's a violation of environmental law or the Endangered Species Act or something. I mean, can you imagine escaping from this place? If you want to take that chance, go for it. But still, you got to think twice, right? Okay, not all of the detainees are Mexicans, so maybe they also serve up some Honduran or El Salvadorian cuisine. I don't know what that is. I mean, just look at this place, you know? That is, except on Tuesdays. That has to remain Taco Tuesday when Mexican detainees are granted free reign on the surrounding swamp. And look at this place on the bottom, the lower picture. If you were an illegal detained here, would you try to escape? Where are you going to go? To that airstrip there on the left? This is the fucking Everglades, an area swimming with alligators, not to mention some pretty nasty snakes and probably some panthers, I'm told. And they're actually paying alligators to be on the lookout for escaped detainees with, a carton of cigarettes, a bed for the night, and a couple of bottles of booze. And the alligators actually love this. So this is the state of the Democrats and the liberal retards out there these days. There's so many things wrong with this country. Well, there's oppression, repression, racism, thisism. Trump is Hitler. But if you're here illegally, you got to stay in this dystopian hellhole. Nope, you deport them. Hopefully they go their own way, get the hell out of the country and try to come back the right way. In the meantime, keep up the pressure, and it doesn't look like Trump is backing down this time. It's so bad for the Democrats that they forgot to celebrate Pride Month. And it's got to suck to be gay in America these days. I mean, literally they suck, but also figuratively. And isn't this what it's all about, really? Where would California's population and their number of representatives and their political power be without all those illegals getting free shit in the Golden State? Oh yeah, so Trump's one big beautiful bill passed in the House of Representatives and headed for his desk for his signature. But by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, an opponent of the filibuster, decided to filibuster and break a speaking record on the floor of the House, thus curing numerous cases of insomnia nationwide. That's how exciting it was. Then he tweeted out some weird shit where he held a baseball bat and said the Democrats would not back down. Strong words from such a little man. And at the end of the day, for what, Hakeem? Seriously, are you and Cory Booker going to hold a sit-in of two people on the steps of the Capitol building again? I mean, it's so bad that the Democrats, they can't even do good theater anymore. Trump literally broke them. Then there's that crazy Muslim communist up in New York City running for mayor that is giving Democrats nationwide a real fucking headache. This guy is to the left of even Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It looks like the Democrats of the Big Apple took a big chunk of the leftist apple and now they're choking on it. Democrats are between a rock and a hard place on this one. Endorse them and carry the stigma. Don't endorse them and you're a traitor. Leaving aside his Islamic faith and heritage and the fact he really loves some Hamas. The guy is a fucking communist. Forget that socialist Democrat shit moniker they come up with. And just to complicate things, he now has a new running mate. The Ayatollah of Iran announced that he's running as an independent. And he also has to face current mayor independent Eric Adams, and I think the Republican, some dude named Curtis Sliwa of the Guardian Angels. Speaking of which, with Iran, how's that war going over there? I mean, what? There's no war? No troops are in Tehran? I mean, what's a poor liberal to do? What's Tucker Carlson doing? And yes, being a liberal is a mental disease or addiction. Once you're hooked, once you make that transformation, folks, there's no going back. You can undye the hair and take the nose ring out and let your hair grow back. And they're just scary liberals at the end of the day. Because then they'll just join the House of Representatives. That's an ugly dude from Delaware, by the way. And then again, some of them do keep their dyed hair, but they remain ugly. And here's a great idea for a new season of that show, Survivor. I'm guessing that unless you're Sean Penn, you won't last too long and be crying to be returned to that fascist hellhole known as the United States of America. Yes, New York City, this summarizes the choice of those liberal wine box-toting women up there. Your choice for mayor, free abortions and a burqa to the boot. New Yorkistan, here we come. And I almost forgot, America's most famous bartender, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, seems like her Bronx cred is taking some hits of late. Sandy was raised in Westchester County, not exactly the Bronx, and not exactly the mean streets of the Bronx. And you need to remember that when she runs for president or Chuck Schumer's seat. And yes, diversity, our greatest strength. What other country allows people to illegally enter their country, stay there, get a lot of free stuff, then burn the flag of the country in which you're squatting in? I mean, that's liberal diversity for you. The University of Pennsylvania stripped some dude who thinks he's a girl of his swimming titles in women's swimming because, well, he has a dick and he has balls and he's a man. This angered a lot of people. You know, when you're ranked 462nd as a male one year, and then you win a championship as a female and set a record, in another year. I'd say there's a fairness problem here. It's not transphobia. Nobody's afraid of transgender people. In fact, they're probably the least people to be scared of, unless you're a Zizian. And it's not hatred. Nobody hates transgenders. We just think that they're fucked up in the head. But anyway, it's about fairness. And finally, Tim Walz, everyone's favorite knuckleheaded governor. He really wasn't in the news this week. He was Grand Marshal of the Twin Cities Gay Pride Parade, no surprise there, and he did hand out some tampons to male revelers along the parade route, just in case they wanted to transition or anything like that. But it's kind of funny that the former vice presidential candidate for the United States under Kamala Harris, go away, dude, go away. And that's it. Thanks. Have a great day. More pleasant tomorrow.